Streaming to you live from a secret lockdown location in West Yorkshire, it's time for maths, magic, and more maths with Dazzling Darren.
Dazzling Darren is your man, and he has a plan to educate your children on Facebook. He will entertain and educate a magician who will just donate some time to help these children who are stuck. With maths and English, you just name it, teaching methods can explain it, along with his skills in wizardry. And don't worry about the price, just a thank you will suffice, cause Dazzling Darren's doing it for free.
It's the moment you've all been waiting for, so please put your virtual hands together and welcome to the screen, Dazzling Darren.
Hey everybody, and welcome along to episode 4 of the Dazzling Darren Magical Math Show. First of all, thank you very much for joining me today, and a special thank you to those of you that have joined me for all 4 episodes. I really appreciate it. This is the final episode, which should fit in with half term next week. First of all, well done to everybody for doing homeschooling all the way pretty much since Christmas. Some people were in for one day and then out. It's absolutely amazing. You've done really well. I know all your teachers and parents are very, very proud of you. It's not easy working from home. We can't wait to get back into schools, but for now, fantastic job that all you children have done. You should be really proud of yourselves. Let's find out what's coming up on today's show. So, we have got loads of magic today, and I'll give you a warning right at the very start. Some of the maths in today's show is quite tricky. This is episode 4, all right? Things are going to get quite tough. Now, if you can't follow along with everything, don't worry about it. You can just watch it and enjoy it. Don't worry about it, just do what you can. This show is not meant to teach you loads and loads of stuff, it's just meant to inspire you about maths, show you what is out there. So, first thing I'm going to show you is my first ever set of number cards. Then we're going to do some join-in magic with a Rubik's Cube. After that, we're going to do our learning PDF. You should have your PDF, it looks like this week. We are going to learn the 21 card trick. Then I've got some Japanese multiplication for you. This is really, really interesting. Don't worry if you can't pick it up straight away. I'll show you how it all works. Pretty incredible. And then we'll finish as ever with the shout outs and the homework. Now, as there'll be no show next week, I won't be able to announce the winner on the show, but I will announce it on my Facebook page. That way we'll have given away a Dazzling Darren magic set for every single show. Good to see people watching. Oh, great. Hello, everybody, and thanks for the waving and the good luck and stuff. We are going to begin, as we always do, by announcing the winner of last week's competition. So let me stand up here and talk about last week's homework. So, last week's homework was something from the 19 times table. Now, if you remember last week, we looked at patterns and numbers in the 13 and 19 times table. And so, we did our homework, which was one of those. The question was, quite simple, what is 19 times 9? And if you remember, I showed you a cool pattern to work out your 19 times table, where you wrote the odd numbers going down and then you wrote all the numbers going up. Check that out, that's on episode 3. If you watched, you would have seen that the answer was 171, and lots of people entered last week, and lots of people emailed me, so thank you very much for that. Last week's lucky winner was Emily. Thank you very much to Emily. I haven't put last names or anything, but I never do. But Emily emailed in, and I will send Emily and her parents and guardians an email to check out the address and send you your Dazzling Darren magic set. All right, so that was last week's homework, and I wanted to start this week by showing you the first number cards that I ever got. You see, I was 5 years old, and I was in school, and the teacher came in one day and gave us all some number cards that looked like this. Now, the idea of these number cards is that we would have different number cards. Started off with the simple ones like 1, 2, 3, and then as we went on, the teacher would give us more cards and bigger numbers, 7 and 12 and 27 and 29. All the idea was, it was that the teacher would put some equations up on the board, and then we had to find the right number and hold it up as quick as we could. Now, I'm going to get one of these number cards chosen in just a second. Because there's a delay on Facebook, I'm going to ask somebody to choose a number between 1 and, let's say, 20, so we're not counting forever, and then we'll count to that number. So, first person who's watching on Facebook, anybody who's watching, please type a number in between 1 and 20. Then I'll look down in a few seconds, I'll find that number, we will count to that number. While that happens, to give that time to happen, let me tell you 2 interesting things about these cards. First of all, they're all double-sided. They've all got completely random numbers from 1 to 300 on both sides. And secondly, some of the numbers look different when you turn them upside down. So for example, you have the number 12, and if you turn that upside down, it changes into 21. All right, let's see if somebody's got some numbers. Oh, thank you very much. We've got the number 15. That's the first one that I saw from Jenny Brearley. Thank you very much. We've got the number 15. So let's count 15 numbers, and then we will get a random number chosen. And I am going to show you something incredible with that number. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right. And the number we've got is, two big numbers. Right. We've got the number 153. And on the other side, an even bigger number, 177. All right. We're going to try and do something cool with these numbers, 153 and 177. I'm going to try do it with 153. I'll place that in the glass there so we can remember that number, 153. Now, I'm going to use the rest of the cards to try and create something with the number that Jenny chose at random, number 153. Now this will take around about 20 seconds. It might take 25 seconds, but I've been practicing for 27 years now, since I was 5 years old, to get this done as fast as possible. So I'm looking for numbers that work well together in pairs, and I'm going to get 8 pairs, put the 8 pairs together to make 4 4s, put the 4 4s together for 2 8s, and then get 116. I'm wasting time here. I need the 2. That's good. That's too high. That's too high. That will work. That will work. That's a pair. That's a pair. No. That was work for a pair. Let's get some more pairs and some space on the table. That should work. 72. No, 10 will work. That is good. And then come on, you're running out of time, Darren. Darren, come on. One more. All right, I'll stop the music. I think that I have just done something with the number 153. Jenny chose the number 15. That led us to the number 153. And I am going to show you something that I think is incredible with Jenny's number 153. Thank you very much for choosing that, Jenny. All right, now, let me show you what I've done. I've got over here a board. This board is sticky. So when the cards stick to the board, it's not magic, by the way. Now, remember that we had the number 153 chosen. I'll show you what I have just tried to do. And if you're watching at home, please do count along with me, whether you're watching live, or I know lots of you watch back on Facebook or the recording on YouTube as well. Check this out. Do your counting if you can as well. Do your adding up. If you need a calculator, grab one quickly, or grab a parent or a guardian's phone and count along and see what we've done. So I took the number 12, all right? I added to that the number 66. 12 plus 66 makes 78, all right? And then I added it to 20, which makes 98, and then down here I took the number 55. So if you add up 12 plus 66 plus 20 plus 55, you get 153. If you don't believe me, pause this and check it out, all right? And remember, that was Jenny's randomly chosen number, 153. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking in 30 seconds or so, you would have been able to find 4 numbers that added up to 153. But there's so much more to come. Check this out. I did it again, look. I took the number 25 plus 50, and if you don't want to work out the maths, you can just take my word for it, for 75, and then added 16 to make 91, and down here, 62. Add that up, and again, you get 153. Now, I'm going to do this until you start enjoying it. Look, I did it over here. I took 56 and added it to 22 for 78, then a big number, 65, that makes 143, which means down here should be a 10. 3 times in less than 30 seconds, I made Jenny's number 153. And look, I did it one final time, just because there's room on the board. I took 60, I added it to 15 for 75, and then over here, 52, which makes 127, and then down here, 26, that also makes 153. But there's more. You see, some of you I know will be seeing this and getting ahead of me. Some of you will realize that this is a magic square, and if you know what a magic square is, you will know that it doesn't just add up going down, but it also adds up going across. Now, like I said, again, kids, you can take my word for this, or you can pause it, you can check my workings out. You can even take a screenshot of this moment and check my workings out along. Check that I've got everything added up to 153. But look, 12 plus 25 is 37, 56 is 93, and 60 is 153. And 66 plus 50 plus 22 is 138, and 15 is 153. And these 4, 8 combinations of the number 153. But there's more. You see, in fact, there's not just 8 combinations, there are over 30. Look, I'll prove it. The diagonals, 12 plus 50 is 62, 65 is 127, and 26 is 153, and 60 plus 22 plus 16 plus 55, well, that's 153 as well. In fact, these 4 here, and these 4 here, and these 4 here, and these 4 here, or the 2 at the top and the 2 at the bottom, or the 2 at the left, or the 2 at the right, or the 4 in the middle, there are over 30, and I'll prove it with one last one. 12 plus 60 is 72, plus 55 is 127. Yes, I did the 4 corners to finish off the Dazzling Darren Magical Math Show episode 4. Add it to 26 and you will get Jenny's number 153. But there's more! You see, at the start of this trick, I told you 2 things about the cards. I told you that some of the numbers turned upside down. And I also told you that the numbers were all double-sided. You see, on the back of Jenny's number, there is a different number, and that number is 177. Yeah? Well, when I was looking at 153, I was also thinking about 177. Check this out. Now, every single number on that board adds up to Jenny's other number, 177. Now, I know by this point you can take my word for it, but I'll prove it with just 3. 92 plus 1 plus 29 is 122, plus 55 is 177. And 92 plus 59 plus 5 is 156, plus 21, well, that's 177. And let's do one last one. 25 plus 59 plus 91 is 175, plus 2 is 177. 30 combinations of Jenny's other number, 177. Thank you! The first first maths cards that I ever got over 25 years ago now. Right, we're going to do some join-in magic, and for the join-in magic today, we are going to do something with the Rubik's Cube. Now, I've been really excited to do this trick right since episode 1 because it's got loads of maths involved in a Rubik's Cube, and I want as many people to get involved as possible. So let me tell you what I want you guys to do. I want you to all have a go at shuffling this Rubik's Cube. So before I tell you about the Rubik's Cube, I'll tell you what I want you to do, and then you can start getting them in on Facebook. Hopefully, a few of you will be able to shuffle this randomly. So a Rubik's Cube has got a top and a bottom, a left, a right, and a center, all right? And I can turn that side 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. But if I turn it 4 times, it goes back to the start. So look over here on the right-hand side. There's loads of different examples. I want you to put in the chat either left, right, center, top, or bottom, and then a number 1, 2, and 3. Start doing that now, all right? And then in a few seconds, I'll look down, I'll see what everybody's writing, and I will turn this cube exactly as you asked me to. To start with, I'll give it a big shuffle myself. But you get your turns in, whatever you would like to do. As many of the children involved as possible. Get your numbers in. Anybody who's watching, get your decisions in. And I will turn the cube that many times that you ask. That way, we'll create a randomly generated Rubik's Cube. Now, the world record to solve a Rubik's Cube is less than 4 seconds. I think that is pretty incredible. And today, because it's the final episode, I'm going to try and break a world record and solve the cube in less than 4 seconds. Now, that's all the more impressive when I tell you how many combinations of a Rubik's Cube there are. Get this. I told you the numbers were going to get pretty big today. There are over 43 quintillion different combinations of a Rubik's Cube. So you have a million, and then a billion, and then a trillion, a quadrillion, and then a quintillion. A quintillion is the number 43 and 18 zeros after for 43 quintillion. Let me put that into perspective. There are more combinations of a Rubik's Cube than seconds in the history of time. And today we're going to create just one of those with what your decisions. So let's have a look. Left 1, perfect. Let's do that. Let's turn it left 1. Let's have a look at another one. I can only see 3. I don't know if there is any more, but we'll do all 3 anyway. Right 2. And the third and final one that I can see is center 3. All right, I'll turn the center 3 times. If 1 or 2 more come in the next few seconds, we'll add them to it. If not, we'll go with this because that's what was created today at random. This is the random Rubik's Cube that's been created by everybody who put their answer in there. Thank you very much for doing that. All right, that'll do. We're going to try and solve it now in less than 4 seconds. Hopefully 3 seconds. We're going to solve the Rubik's Cube. Check this out. The cube goes into the bag and comes out solved in less than 4 seconds. Are you ready? Here we go. Check it out. The Rubik's Cube has solved completely in less than 4 seconds. Yeah. Yeah, you guys have been watching this enough now to know that you're onto me. Some people are getting suspicious. Some people think that there is another Rubik's Cube inside the bag. They think that I would have gone to the trouble of having a solved one inside the bag and switched it for the one that I and you all shuffled. I'll prove it to you. I'll prove that's not the case. Look. It's empty. Yeah? All right. All right, you guys are onto me. That's exactly what I did. I switched it. I switched the cube inside the bag, the one that we shuffled, for the one that was already solved inside the bag. But there was good reason, because I wanted to keep this cube as a memory of the Dazzling Darren Magical Math Show. It's the last show today, and I thought, if I ask people to shuffle the cube, wherever it ends up, I'll leave it like that, because there are chances of another cube looking exactly like this are impossible. Well, they're not impossible, but they're 1 in 43 quintillion, which is a lot. The chances of another cube being like this are extremely high, anywhere in the world. More impossible if it was in this country, in this county, in this town, on this street, in this house, in this room, in that box. You see, at the start of the show, I placed a different Rubik's Cube in here, one of the Rubik's Cubes that I had since I was very, very young, and I thought it'd be cool to see whether this one that's been there the whole time and this one that we shuffled had any similarities. Let's check it out. Let's see whether this one and this one have got anything in common. I don't believe it. Check this out. You can see that one side is a complete and utter match. Check that out there, the 2 reds, the 2 blues, the 2 reds, the 2 yellows and the orange. And then a second side, that's a complete match as well. Have a look at that. There's a third side there with the orange L and the 2 greens and the red, yellow and blue. And then a fourth side, look at that, with the 3 whites across the top. But not that, only that, there's the 5th side there. And finally the 6th side, a complete and utter match. The one that we shuffled and the one that was in the box. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's probably the most impressive thing that you're going to see with the Rubik's Cube today. But it's not, because whenever we have this, people still like to see cubes that end up solved like this, all right? And so we're going to try and solve these Rubik's Cubes in world record time. So here's what I want you to do. You guys that are watching, I want you to imagine doing this cube solving, all right? I want you to imagine this cube solving inside the bag, all right? I'll leave this cube inside the bag on the table. I want you guys to imagine jumping into your screen, out of my screen, picking this one up out of the bag, solving it, popping it back in the bag, putting it down on the table with nobody able to see. Whilst that happens, I want some of you to imagine this cube solving, all right? Focus your attention down the camera and to this Rubik's Cube. I feel like Yuri Geller here. I want you to imagine it solving in my hand, and it should look a little bit like that. All right, but that was just misdirection for those of you that chose to jump in the bag and solve that one over there. And now, if we have a look inside the bag, this Rubik's Cube should be completely solved as well. A 1 in 43 quintillion chance. You were amazing. Right, oh, thank you for all the claps, I appreciate that. Right, let's go on now to today's Learn Magic, all right? Because we have got a PDF, as we do every week, and this week, the PDF looks a little bit like this. You guys are going to have a chance to learn some magic, all right? Now, to learn this magic, all you're going to need to do is to take this and chop up the numbers so you give you 21 cards. Now, a couple of other things. You could do it with a pack of playing cards, or a pack of top trump cards, or you could do it with some Uno cards, all right? Anything that you've got will work for this trick, this Learn Magic, all right? I just need to switch my camera around, and we will be back in about 10 seconds with a close-up camera so you can see this trick work. Split screen. So, you should have yourself now some cards that are like this. Let me get a good shot of this so we know. This is the problem with only having 2 cameras when you could do with 3. Right, you want to get yourself your cards like this. Of course, if you want, you could use playing cards, all right? You don't have to use these cards. You can use playing cards. Wow, struggling to get these in the shot. There we go. There we go. We got it sorted in the end. Right, if you want, you can use playing cards. And if you want to do that, you've got to get yourself 21 of them, all right? So grab yourself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. You can either use playing cards or you can use the number cards, all right? I'll use the playing cards just because they are bigger. So let me show you this trick. It is called the 21 card trick. Once I've shown it to you, you can learn it as well, all right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to shuffle up these cards. We're going to give them a really good mix. Once they've got a good mix, we're going to deal them out into 3 piles. And you need somebody to help you for this trick. And you're going to ask them to choose a card and decide which pile it's in. So they're going to choose a card. They're not going to tell you which card they've chosen. They're only going to tell you which pile it's in. All right, so I'm going to ask someone to help me. Would you do me a favor? Would you choose a card and choose which pile it's in? All right, the middle pile. Okay, the card is in the middle pile. We are going to do it. We're going to do it again. This time we're going to deal out the cards again, and all they're going to do again is tell us which pile the card is in. So which pile is it in this time? This pile? Okay, perfect. We're going to do it one more time. And this time, for one last time, I just want you to tell me not which card it is, but which pile it's in. The middle one. Okay, perfect. Now, I am going to find your card. So we'll deal the cards down. Which card did you choose? The King of Diamonds. I think this card will be your card, the King of Diamonds. All right, so that is the 21 card trick. It's difficult to do over the screen. It's better to do in the room to a person, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it now, all right? So grab your cards, or you can grab these. That would be absolutely fine. We are going to learn how to do this now, all right? So the first thing that we will need to do is deal the cards into 3 equal piles of 7. Now, this is a mathematical trick. It just works itself as long as you deal the cards into 3 piles of 7. So you can use a PDF, or you can use the cards, Uno cards or trump cards, right? Deal the cards into 3 piles of 7. Once you've done that, ask somebody to choose a card. So we'll deal mine into 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, we're going to ask somebody... we're going to ask somebody to choose a card. Once they choose a card, you don't ask them to tell us what it is, just which pile it's in. Now, this is how this trick works, all right? When they choose which pile the card is in, you have to gather up the cards and put that pile in the middle. So, for example, if they chose a card in this pile, let's say, for example, that they chose the Ace of Hearts. They would tell us that it's in this pile. When we gather up the cards, we have to put this pile in between the other 2 piles. So we'll put this pile on top and this pile on the bottom. Their pile goes in the middle. Now, all you got to do is repeat that process twice more, and it will put their card to the 11th position down. So let's go through 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Now, they're looking for their card, and they will tell us that this time their card is in the middle pile. We don't know which card it is yet, although we do know it's the Ace of Hearts here, but we're tracking it and it's in the middle pile, so we'll gather that in the middle again. So we'll put this on top of this and this on top of this. And then we're going to just deal them out one more time, and when they tell us which pile it's in this time, we're going to gather it up in the middle again. All right, so this time they would show us that it's in the middle pile again, so they would say pile 2, so we'll keep that in the middle again. Now, we don't know what their card is by this point, but we do know that it has gone to the 11th card down. And so, if you turn the pile over, you can do it this way, or you can do it this way. You can start dealing the cards 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 10, and the next card, card number 11, will always be their card. It's a mathematical card trick that just works itself. We call it self-working. So that's number 10, and that is number 11. Their card, in this case, it's the Ace of Hearts. All right, so let's have a recap of that. You deal 3 piles of 7, and you ask somebody to choose a card. Ask them which pile their card is in, and gather that pile up in the middle. All right. Then you deal the cards into 3 piles again. Ask them where their card is. You then gather them up again with that pile in the middle. Always the same. You just repeat the same thing 3 times, and then you deal the piles a 3rd time. Count and then count down, and the 11th card will be their card. All right, so you put them in 3 piles of 7, gather it up in the middle, 3 piles of 7, gather it up in the middle, 3 piles of 7, gather it up in the middle, and their card will be the 11th card. Now, I appreciate that's a lot to take in. I wanted to make episode 4 difficult. If you do have any questions, then please email me or drop me a message on my Facebook page, and I will help you with that one as well. But that is the mathematical 21 card trick. All right, we're going to do today's Maths Marvel then, all right? Now, today's Maths Marvel is the way that they do multiplication, or used to do multiplication in Japan. So if you remember back in episode 1, I showed you what people did when, in Egypt, in ancient Egypt, when they wanted to do long multiplication, but without using a calculator, all right? I hope you remember that. You did the doubling method. Now, this is a different method that uses lines to get to your number. Again, not easy, quite complicated. I just wanted to show you this because it's pretty amazing how it works. All right, so we're going to try and multiply 2 difficult numbers together. All right, so we're going to try and do the numbers 42 and 21 without a calculator. All right, so we're going to do the numbers 42 and 21 without a calculator. I'm going to show you how this works. This works by drawing loads of lines on your paper or on the screen. All right, so we're going to start by drawing the number 21. Now, to do this, watch very carefully. We are going to take the tens first. So in the number 21, we've got 2 tens. So we'll draw 2 lines. We're going to leave a little bit of a gap, and then we're going to draw 1 for the ones, or I used to call them units, but somebody told me to call them the ones. All right, so that's how we're going to write 21. Then we're going to draw lines across for 42. Now, like I said, I don't expect you to be joining in or doing this. I just want you to show you how amazing this Maths Marvel is, all right? We're going to do the number 42, but we're going to draw them across, so it should look like that. So have a look at that. You can see the number 4 for the tens, and 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, and then the number 2 for the ones or the units, 1, 2. Now, I know what you're thinking. Looking at that, I would be thinking exactly the same. That is just loads of lines on a screen. How could that possibly give us the answer to 42 times 21? Well, I'm going to show you. You have to draw 2 more lines, and this time the lines are curved, all right? You've got to draw 2 lines that are curved like this, all right? Now, once you've done that, unbelievably, everything you need is on this screen to find out the answer of 42 times 21. And all you've got to do, and this sounds unbelievable, all you have to do is count where the lines cross each other. Now we're going to start from the right and we're going to work towards the left. Often, as we do if we're doing addition or subtraction or even long multiplication, we will start from the right and we'll work towards the left. So on the right hand side of the second blue line, you should see that the lines cross each other twice. Look, I'll put a couple of dots up and show you where they cross. Have a look, right? So those lines only cross twice to the right of that second blue line. So we make a note of that with the number 2, which you can see at the bottom of the screen there. Then we look in the middle of the 2 blue lines and we see how many times those lines cross. Now, obviously it's a higher number, you can see them crossing more, but I'll put the dots up as well and you can see that they cross over 8 times. There's 4 at the top there and there's 4 at the bottom. So we make a note of the number 8. And then we have a look to the left of the first blue line and we'll see how many times they cross over. And you can see there with the yellow dots that that is 8 as well. So that is then our answer. Unbelievable, right? So the answer to 42 times 21 is 882. Unbelievable, right? I think that is absolutely fantastic. Check that out. You got the 8 yellow dots, the 8 blue dots, and the 2 green dots. That makes the number 882. One thing to remember, if you do that and you get to the middle and it crosses more than 10 times, you just carry your 1 across to the left-hand side, just as you do when you're doing addition and subtraction. All right, so if there were, say, 14 blue dots, you would take the number 4 and put that in the middle, and then you would carry the 1 across, so you'd count your dots on the left, and then you would add 1 to it. And it's as simple as that. I say it's as simple as that because it's very difficult, but I wanted to just show you that because I've had it in my ideas to show you for a few weeks, because I think that is a pretty incredible maths marvel. All right, we've just got time for the shout-outs and the homework this week then. The final load of shout-outs, and by the way, thank you to everybody who's joined in. Loads of people. I haven't looked at the comments too much today, but thank you very much. Let me give the shout-outs then. This week we've got 3 shout-outs. We've got the first shout-out to Oliver, Jessica, and Jacob that are watching. Hello to you. Thank you very much for asking for a shout out. We've also got a shout out to Elliot. Elliot emailed in with last week's answer and he wanted a shout out. I think he's watching at home, so hi to Elliot and to your mum Jenny as well. Thank you very much. And the final shout out this week is to my friends at Millbridge School. I know they are watching, because people have been emailing and saying that I went to their school and stuff. So hello to all my friends at Millbridge School, a school quite close to me where I perform at usually in real life when we go in and do shows in real schools. So thank you very much. Let's go then now to the homework. This is the final homework. Remember, there's no show next week, so I will pop this answer on my Facebook page on Monday morning and announce the winner on there as well. So do check that out. And if you haven't liked my Facebook page yet, please do subscribe. Like my YouTube channel if you want, because there's going to be lots more stuff going on there where I'm going to be showing magic that you can learn. So this week's homework, the number of maths magic shows. So the number of maths magic shows that I've done, we've given a few clues to that today, multiplied by the number of days in February. All right, so you should get 2 numbers. How many math shows have I done? And how many days are there in February? Once you've got the answer, 2 answers, multiply them together. It should give you 1 number. I'll give you a clue. It's over 100. All right, get that number into me via email or a message on Facebook. And if you get it right, you'll be in the draw. And then I'll do that on Sunday night and I will announce the winner on Monday. All right, so that's it. That's the end of today's Magical Math Show, episode 4. Thank you so much for watching this show and all the other shows. As I said, it's just me and a couple of cameras doing this, hopefully to inspire you during your home learning and inspire you with your maths. I hope you have enjoyed it. Great to see you all, and hopefully I'll get to see you in an event in real life sometime soon. But for now, thank you very much. Have a great half term. You've really deserved it, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.